What up, everybody? Welcome to a How-To with Tim O'Donnell. Today, I want to talk about why I think everybody should be changing over to a digital mixing platform. So let's stick around right here, and we're gonna go get
Digital, digital, I wanna get digital.
Now I know you're having a hard time parting with your old Maggie 808 that you bought from Christopher Columbus when you came over on the Mayflower, but it's time to get with the times, man. It's time to get with the times. You don't see no horse and buggy running the Daytona 500 anymore, and that's because there's technology, and it's time to get with it. Don't be scared. So all your reputable companies are making a digital platform mixer now that's very compact, very lightweight, and very user-friendly. They're also way more affordable than what you think. The mixer we use for our live shows, and that I've been using for about the last 4 years, probably 200 plus dates a year, no hiccups, is this little Behringer XR18 Air. Now this thing has 16 channels, has 6 aux sends for monitors. It's got 4 effects that you can run at one time. It's got compressors, it's got gate, it's got high pass filter, low pass filter. The capabilities in this little stage box run by this iPad are equivalent to what would have taken you a cargo trailer full of gear. So for me, one of the biggest benefits from a digital mixer is when I have to EQ acoustic instruments. Whether it's an acoustic guitar, whether it's a fiddle, upright basses, dobros, mandolins, all these things are problematic because they want to feed back. All I'm going to do today is show you a quick way to really start to hone in on the frequencies that work on this instrument and how to get rid of the feedback. Now, one of the most important tools on a digital mixer is an RTA, or real-time analyzer. You can turn this thing on and you can see exactly which frequencies are spiking, which ones are low, and actually what you need and what you don't need, what you can cut out of your mix to clean up the sound of the instrument. Let's take a gander at this RTA first. You pull up an EQ setting, and basically it is going to show you all the notes across the spectrum of this thing here. The next thing that we really want to employ on this is a high pass and a low pass filter on this. Your high pass filter is going to take everything below a frequency that you set and get it out of the mix. That's your high pass filter. The low E string on an acoustic guitar is 83 hertz. So technically everything below that can get out of the mix. You're not going to get all this bang and boom and all this noise, especially if you're playing with subwoofers. If you've ever watched somebody play and you keep hearing this boom, 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 and it sounds like some kind of crazy rumble thunder off in the distance, is because they should have put a high pass filter on their guitar. The other thing is the low pass filter. Okay, the highest note that I can play on the guitar, which is a high C up here on the 20th fret, is somewhere around 1000 hertz. So really and truthfully, everything above that spectrum is some kind of harmonic. When you really get up there in the spectrum, it just starts sounding brash, tinny, sounds like nails on a chalkboard. The first 2 things we can set is our low pass filter and our high pass filter, and we'll go from there and see where this guitar wants to rumble. So the first thing is this high pass filter right here. I'm going to turn this thing on. I'm going to turn my high pass filter, I'm going to set it at 82. The next thing I'm going to do is roll off this low pass filter, and I'm going to pull this back to somewhere around, let's go 5,000. If you want a little bit more sparkle on the guitar, you can just pull that forward. Now we have 3 distinct EQ settings that we can use to get rid of feedback that this guitar is going to give us. Now I'm just going to play a simple old G chord and look at this analyzer and see what we got here. Right off the bat, there is a very, very, very bad note right around 100. So we will pull that out. I'm going to cue this tight to try to retain some of the beautiful notes around that. It's a little more right there. That is a great starting point on how to get your guitar to sit good in the mix. Not have all the low rumble, not have all the high tinny stuff up there. And we just focused on a major feedback note. The next thing that you want to do is really play a lot of different things and probably turn up louder than you're going to play on the gig. That way it's going to let you know what's going on, how you can address it before you actually start playing. There's a note right there. Let's get that one out. There it is right there. We're going to pull this to here. And let's just get rid of that note. Bye-bye note. That just shows you the capability of one channel on a good digital mixer. I have a high pass filter, I have a low pass filter, and I have 4 EQ points where I can get rid of notes. Remember, when you have feedback, chop, pull stuff out. It's very rare you're going to want to boost something. If you want to boost something, if you think something is lacking, like if, oh, my guitar needs more treble, to tell you the truth, it probably just needs less bass. So on a very rare occasion, you're going to actually push something up in the EQ spectrum. 99% of the time, you're probably going to pull out. Now in another episode, I'd love to get more in depth in this thing, seeing how they're chock full of effect. One thing I do want to tell you is that if you play original music and you're singing a song that nobody has ever heard, don't muck up your vocal. Don't put a smiley face on your vocal because you can't understand a word you're saying. The other thing is be very reluctant to use too many effects on your voice, because when you do that, your voice sinks way back in the mix. It sounds like somebody back in a cave somewhere or singing in the shower. And again, you can't understand what you're saying. And if somebody's listening to a song they've never heard before and they can't understand what you're saying, you lost them. You lost them right there. That's my tip of the day. Everybody, thanks for coming on out to another How To with Tim O'Donnell. I'm going to get back on these. I got some good episodes coming up. Go to my YouTube channel, subscribe, like it. We'll see y'all.